Hey, so what do you do if you get in your car, you start it up, and the air conditioning isn't working?
You sweat your tail off. That's what you
Oh,
do. It's hot in Texas. Come on.
Welcome to summer. Okay, so this is a thing that we're seeing in the shop a lot these days, and that is the AC is not working. Okay,
We're
so
seeing a lot of sweaty people come in the shop is what we're seeing.
well, and they're not happy.
No, because that AC is supposed to be working here in July in Texas.
So, number one, what you do, and this might sound really basic.
What do you
and
do?
Forgive me. But make sure that you press the AC button, and that button lights up to make sure that the AC is actually on.
I had a really upset client come in one time, picked up her husband's car, and she's out there running the car. She came in and she started yelling because the air conditioner didn't work. I was like, oh, well, let's go out and see. I mean, she was not nice. We went out there. I said, well, go ahead and let's pop the hood and start the car. I looked around. I said, go ahead, let's start the car. Let's see what it does. Turn on the AC. And she turned on the AC, and I said, no, turn on the AC. She said, well, it's on. I went and looked inside the window. I said, see that little button there that says AC? Would you please just push that button one time? Let's see what happens. And of course, she pushed the button, the light came on, the air compressor clicked in, and it started getting cold air inside the car. And her comment was, my car doesn't have to do that.
So every car is a little different. Just make sure, like a couple weeks ago, we had somebody who the dial, the knob, whatever, the slide was in the middle between heat and AC, and so it was just blowing out
Warm air.
So first of all, and I know it sounds really basic, just make sure that you actually have the AC on max, high, to see if it actually is
cold temperature, max cold temp.
And then the second thing, is it actually blowing air? It's just not cold air. So if that's happening, then bring it on in.
Another thing I want to just share with you, and here's a really important tip. The more that you can tell us the condition that's happening with your vehicle here's an example. I'm driving down the road and my air conditioner is blowing nice cool air, everything's working the way it should, and then I come up to a red light or I come up to a stop and it starts blowing warm air. There's something wrong with my air conditioner. Yes, there is, but it may not be the refrigeration system. We may have to find out. It could be a relay, it could be a switch, it could be a sensor, it could be a number of other things that could cause a similar symptom, but it's not in the air conditioning refrigeration system. But I will tell you, if you allow that to go for an extended period, what it will do is it will overstress the compressor and cause the compressor to implode internally, and then it gets to be very, very, very expensive.
Oh, so make sure that you get this checked out, that you don't just try to...
Yeah, this is something, if you have an air conditioning issue with your vehicle and you notice it, the longer that you prolong it, the more expensive it will cost you.
That's like that with everything.
Oh, especially with a car.
Your car, your teeth, your eyes,
your colonic.
That was last week.
If you haven't seen that one, you may want to go back.
If you leave something not maintained, you can pay now or you can pay later. You can pay a little now or you can pay a lot later.
And when you pay later, it costs interest, right? I mean, you have to pay more.
There you go.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, so it may be a relay, it may be a fan, it may be a switch, or it may be the Freon itself. But it's not called Freon anymore.
It is not called Freon anymore, and there are many different types of refrigerant that are being used in today's cars. In the old days, we had R12. R12, pretty simple. It was difluoromethane. CCI2F2 is your...
Wow.
Well, come on now.
Baby.
See, I know how to get her excited. I talk chemistry. Well, that went away in 1989, and then they came up with R134A, and now they have R1234YA. And that will change.
That should be CYA.
No. Oh.
YA. Well, it's because
it's why it's so darn expensive. That's the
It's
problem.
because the patent runs out.
The patent continues to
Yeah.
run out. It's after 20 years of patent rights, and then DuPont no longer makes money, so they come up with all this other story. Now, nonetheless, your R1234YA is extremely expensive.
Oh yeah, it's not sold by the gallon or the liter. It's sold by the ounce.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous money. I mean, it costs us over $1,000 for a tiny little can like this big. It's so stupid, you just can't believe it. And hopefully those prices will come down, similar to when R12 was going crazy and R134A was going crazy. But I can't say that I see that in the foreseeable future. So again, another example of, if you have a AC problem that's just starting, get it in. We have the equipment, we can recapture the refrigerant that's in the system, so you don't have to pay for it. Right? I mean, we're basically going to pull your gas out. Your gas? No, we want you to keep your gas. But we're going to pull the refrigerant out of your air conditioning system, and then we'll filter it and put it back into the system.
And we have a dye that we can put in there so that if there is a leak, we can see where it's leaking from, because we add a dye to the refrigerant.
And we use CO2 testing for systems as well.
Yeah. And I want to make a distinction here between refrigerant and coolant. Coolant
is for the radiator.
Refrigerant is for your air conditioning system.
Two different systems.
I hear people get that confused a lot up at the front counter.
Yeah.
So.
And refrigerant basically is a gas. So it's actually a very interesting chemical. In one position, if you hold the can in one position, it's a gas. If you flip it over the other way, it's a liquid. It's a very interesting chemical, and it's colder than you can believe. So make sure that if you have an AC issue...
That's not the actual can, by the way.
No, this is an enzyme.
Vitamins. I'm a doctor. Okay,
they're everywhere, for God's sake.
And so I just also want to interject here. Please subscribe to our channel and press the like button.
No, that's fine, but bring us your cars. That's what we do best. We can't do videos where the flip some days, but we can always fix your car, and that's what we do here at the Auto Shop. And you can call us here in beautiful Plano, Texas at 972-578-0588, or check us out online. You can make an appointment online at www.theautoshop.com. And I'm Jerry. That's Dr. Laura. And thanks for watching us, and we hope to see you soon. Bring your cars in. Tell everybody else. Bring your cars in.
Come on in. Bring them in. See you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.